Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I will be sharing with you the setup that I used to create this kind of furniture. This is actually super simple, super basic, and this is, if you can guess already, this is actually just half of default cube. So let me quickly show you. So a single object like this was created using a bunch of nodes. And this is basically just a simple cube with some faces actually deleted. If I get rid of these subdivisions, you will see that this is just like a simple cube with Solidify. But the Solidify actually does a little bit of job with this even thickness. Okay, so there's a thickness that's being generated using Solidify. So that's one of the trick. Without the shade smooth, you can see this is just basically an object like the default cube, but I simply deleted some of the faces using geometry nodes. So it's really that simple. And from this shape, you can turn it basically into any kind of other shape. This one looks really modern and looks like a bed, tatami Japanese bed. But you can also, like just quickly modify this and turn it into, like a table for eating. Just whatever you can come with, just use your imaginations and it just change the shape. It could be like a chair of some sort. And of course, I think the Solidify also matters in this case. If I hold options and change the thickness, it completely changed the feel about this design. Let's actually take a look at the actual shape. So there's a shade smooth control here that I should actually pipe this out. Okay, so in this case, maybe it's not a good idea to do that. Just pipe it from here and then just use group input, so it's a bit cleaner. Same thing with this case with the material. Pipe this into group input, so this can be collapsed. So this is much cleaner. So like I said, I started with a cube. Okay, the cube have 6-sided face, and I deleted 3 of them, so we have this kind of shape. And this is handy. Why? Because we can always change this shape into anything, and we can use it like as an array. You can quickly make something like that. It's a very simple shape. What's interesting about this guy, the setup, is that I also put, after I deleted some of the faces using this index, and there's a bit of control here. Just play around with that. This is just a basic Boolean math, and then the result of this is a logic 0 or 1, that's to delete the polygon face. And then what I did here using the bounding box, I simply get the minimum and maximum of the object geometry, and then simply multiply this by half, and then just move and offset the object, so it's always set on the ground. So that's basically what's happening. And then I set the shade smooth and set material. The material thing is also quite important, even though it's super simple and basic. So an object, you can assign any material, right? And you can have multiple material, of course, but it's not automatically being assigned, and you can simply modify it from here. So this is also kind of important. So now we have this kind of like a building block, and I think this could be something that's potentially be useful. I don't know what it is, but I know you can create like a building block, like a Lego. This is like a super basic example. There are many ways to play around with this. So just now I select all of this guy, and then holding options I change the parameter so I can change all at the same time. So this guy of course have the solidify and subdivisions. This one only have solidify. Solidify does a bit of work here as well, so you can have different type of solidify. We don't have solidify and extrude inside geometry nodes yet, but that will come eventually. But yeah, this give a lot of possibilities, even though it's super basic. Like, I mean, even with something like this, you can quickly turn it into like some kind of room. It's very minimalistic kind of approach, right? It's very Japanese, some people call it sometimes. Very minimalist. You often find design like this at maybe a place like Muji. Muji is one of thing they are selling furniture and also a lot of different things. But anyhow, yeah, this is just a simple basic shapes created using geometry nodes. I just think this is so simplistic and minimalist and so simple, but this is really adjustable, and I think you can hopefully get inspiration from this. So hopefully, yeah, this is useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.